Our political editor, Louise Stewart, who's been covering the Sussex Police and Crime Commissioner elections. The results there, Louise, in Brighton have rather more of a traditional party political look to them.
That's right, Rob. It has to be said the turnout here also low, 15.82%. The Conservative candidate Katy Bourne, she did well in the 13 areas counting, coming first in most of them, but not getting the 50% crucially she needed to avoid a second count. So there was a second count. Labour taking great comfort from the fact that they made progress. They say they came first in the more urban areas here in Brighton and Hove, in Crawley and in Hastings. But a really dismal day for the Liberal Democrats, who came last behind the Independent and UKIP.
I therefore give notice that Katy Elizabeth Bourne, the Conservative Party candidate, is duly elected as Police and Crime Commissioner for the Sussex Police Area.
Congratulations for the Conservative candidate Katy Bourne. After several hours of counting, she was declared the first Police and Crime Commissioner for Sussex.
200,000 people have said, we want a say in the policing priorities that matter to us in Sussex. So it's a great base to work from.
After the first count, the Liberal Democrat, UKIP and Independent candidates were all eliminated, leaving the Conservative candidate Katy Bourne to fight it out with Labour's Godfrey Daniel. Many residents in Sussex said they simply didn't know who to vote for.
I don't think people feel this is a priority. I don't think people think it's a necessity, and people are suspicious about the politics behind it.
Because some of them are coming from political party stances, that slightly worries me.
It is a low turnout, and it's a concern for all of us who care about democracy. These are unfamiliar elections taking place at an unfamiliar time of year, and it's one of the reasons why we said from the very start it was really important to engage with voters.
This former police officer says the idea of a police commissioner is good, but the campaign lacked government support.
I agree that the idea of having one person responsible, one person that everybody would know about and anybody could go to if they had an issue, I agree with that, and I don't disagree with it now, but it's the execution of the idea which has been woeful.
I wouldn't be standing.
Katy Bourne knows she faces a big challenge, but says
it's time now to park the politics of the campaign and get on with the job in hand.
And that job will begin on Thursday. Well, I'm joined by Katy Bourne now. Katy Bourne, congratulations. But it has to be said, a low turnout. Do you feel you've got a mandate for this role?
Yes, 200,000 people in Sussex have voted, and that's 200,000 people that have said policing is important to us and we want to set our own priorities. It's a great base to work upon. It's time now to park the politics of the campaign and to roll up my sleeves and get on with the job in hand.
On the streets, people seem to be saying they didn't want this role politicised in the first place, and people like you had the backing of the big party machine.
This role was never about politicising the police. The Chief Constable is in charge of operational policing. This is a strategic role. This is about setting the crime-fighting priorities in policing that matter to people across Sussex. Priorities like antisocial behaviour. This is what blights people's lives, blights our communities. And I want to send a big message out to people that are causing these problems in communities to say, actually, we're going to deal with you now. It's time we put the victims first and not the criminals.
Okay, Katy Bourne, thank you very much indeed, and she'll be getting to work this Thursday.
Okay, Louise, in Brighton, thank you very much. And you can find out more about the election results online and on BBC Radio Kent, BBC Sussex and